Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode from the Multi-Tools and Blades channel. If you enjoy watching my videos, please do me a favour and hit that like and subscribe button, that would really help me out. So in today's episode we're going to have a look at this Leatherman Juice XE6 and the Leatherman Juice CS4. So with the Juice series we have quite a few different models that we can choose from. They're all relatively the same size, just with different tool outlays. With the exception of the Juice Pro, these two models here are the largest ones you can get. So the whole Juice series was first introduced in 2001 and it was discontinued in 2019. Because these were reasonably priced, they were quite popular and you'll still find quite a lot of them on eBay for sale in second-hand condition. They range from anywhere from several $100s. This purple XE6 I picked up recently from a pawnbroker for just $19 Australian. That's about $15 US. One thing to be careful though with buying them second-hand is make sure that they're fully functional in the description. Having worked in Leatherman warranty, I can tell you now that the back springs on these break very easily and frequently. So you don't want to get one with a broken back spring. They can't be repaired, they can only be replaced, and because they're discontinued, Leatherman will only ever replace it with something different. Other than different coloured scales and scale textures, the inside layered tools where it says that Leatherman patent pending there on the side, they're all exactly the same. So what does change is all the tools on the outside, so as it moves out you actually get more layers going outwards. Because I know how fragile these back springs are, I'm not going to take the chance of putting this through the ultrasonic cleaner. You can see here it's quite dirty and disgusting and used, but I'm just going to leave it exactly like that. This is actually one of the very first ones. This was made in June 2001, this particular one. So with the exception of the Leatherman Flare and a couple of prototypes that I saw with the new Free series, this is the only Leatherman that has got a corkscrew. These are not great corkscrews, I have seen them straighten out, but just like every other Leatherman, they're prone to misuse, so people could be using them for other things. So next we have the main blade. This is quite an odd shape, never liked this at all to be honest. One thing I really hate about them is that they're non-locking as well. So I've said it before, I hate slip joints. Doesn't feel like a right kind of blade to me. Maybe if the tip was more like a Warncliffe tip or a reverse Tonto, I'd like it a bit better. These aluminium scales are actually covers. Just like the Charge AL and ALX, underneath these there are full skeletonized stainless steel liners, so they don't provide any structural support. It's a shame with the rivet construction that they can't be removed and swapped over. Next we have the scissors, and you can see that they're quite large. I do like these larger ones though. They're about the same size as a Victorinox. They're not quite like a Victorinox in the sense that they're not sharp on the end, but they do cut very well. Next we have the Reamer and All. It's modelled on the Victorinox Wengo 1961 Reamer. It's quite sharp on the end. I just think out of all the tools though, I think this one's probably a little bit out of place. With the Reamer up and out of the way, underneath that is hidden a wood saw. It does have a nail nick on the side, but it's a little bit hard to get to, so it's easier just to take it out from the tip. Might look a bit gimmicky, but it's actually rather good wood saw. I've seen some testing on this, and compared to some of the other wood saws, it actually performed rather well, which was really surprising. Now these are the springs here that keep breaking. There's two springs there on either side. It goes all the way through one piece and it holds the internal tools in place. In the new revised version in 2013, they actually changed that for 3 springs on one side. So here's the view from the inside. You can see it goes from one end to the other all the way through, and that's the part that actually breaks quite often. And on the Juice models we have a Phillips. Next to the Phillips is a tiny little lanyard ring, which I'm not going to pull out. These Phillips are squared off, so you can actually use it with the additional bit drive accessory kit. These are actually the first tools that Leatherman introduced for the accessory bits, which seems quite odd to be honest. It was something that was adopted across many tools, such as the blast and the fuse, and even some of the folding knives. On the opposite side we have 3 small screwdriver blades of different sizes. Right about this time, Leatherman was known for its innovation, particularly with the Wave, which was brought out a few years earlier, so I'm quite disappointed that they didn't come out with something a little bit different to put in this space here, but yeah, that's what we have, 3 small little screwdriver blades. And just to reiterate that none of the tools on the inside or the outside on any of the Juice models lock in place, they're all slip joints. But to be fair, this is not a tradesman's quality tool. This was designed for gentlemen to compete directly against Victorinox, and I think it did a pretty good job of that, to be honest. So now we're having a look at the revised model that came out in late 2013. You'll see here that one of the scales, the aluminium covers have been removed, so it exposes that stainless underneath, although it is now no longer skeletonized. The aluminium scale is textured. For the most part, the tools on here are pretty much the same. So the corkscrew, there have been no changes. The main blade has been changed slightly, which we'll have a look at just a second. You'll see here the scissors are exactly the same, no difference at all. The spring works really well on these, by the way, so they've got the little Wenger springs. The awl as well, the awl is no different at all, it's exactly the same, no change, same with the wood saw. And there's no point changing anything if there's no issues with it. If it's not breaking or not having any people complain about it, then yeah, don't need to change it at all. What did break was the springs, which they've rectified on this, and you can see now we have more of a sheep's foot blade, which is a welcomed revision. Well, there you have it, everyone. A couple more Leatherman tools that have gone the way of the Dodo. People are still out there using them, and every time they use them they're more likely to break, so I reckon they'll be future classics. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time.